Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. This is your January 2020 horoscope for Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And so, starting off with the Queen of Wands in reverse, there is something here about needing to stand in your own power. We talked a lot about this in your December 2019 horoscope, that this is a time to claim your power and to be in your full expression with this Queen of Wands in reverse. And so for a lot of you out there, there is something here about how, for those of you who have Aries rising, this Chiron energy, for many of you, is either in your first house or back in your 12th house, about this destroying of self, destroying of ego. And so there's something here where this is about finding your true power and moving out of that place of this old power or this old identity that you are attached to. And this is coming through very strong here with the Queen of Wands, that as we're moving into 2020, we'll see Chiron and Aries a lot throughout 2020, and we're going to see it go retrograde again, where it is going to be, again, this big reminder of this moment of these wounds that are related to ego and related to attachments, to identity, of who you believe you are and how you believe that you should show up in the world. And so this is a big moment of claiming that power and that truth and being who you are. And with the Two of Wands here in reverse, what is the vision? What is the dream, the goal, the passion that you are pursuing, that you are looking towards? There's something here about navigating and looking out for that vision, that passion, that goal that you have for yourself. But with this in reverse, there's something here about this block of this journey that you are going on and moving into this space as you're moving into 2020, about where are you navigating on your path? Where is the vision, the passion? What are you going after? And with this being the year of the rat, there is something about needing to go after what you are passionate about, as the rat is the one who wins the race. And so, what are you willing to do to win the race in your life? What path are you going on? What is the vision? What are you passionate about? Is a big question to go along with this identity of who you are and how you're presenting yourself coming through very strongly for you. As for many of you out there who have this Capricorn midheaven, you have this major Capricorn stellium affecting your 10th house of career, of status, of reputation. How are you presenting yourself to the world? How are you showing up? And it is a major decision within yourself that needs to be made with the Judgment card here. What is that judgment call within yourself about what you are going to do? Are you going to step up to what needs to be done? And this is a big Jupiter Capricorn question of what are you willing to do to cross that finish line, with the rat being about being resourceful and about making these smart decisions and going after what you are passionate about. So this is a big judgment call that needs to be made within you on this path moving forward, about where are you headed, what are you passionate about, how are you going to show up, are you stepping up to this next level. And it's interesting that we have the Lovers card here, because this is this Gemini energy about this connection and this opening up to new experiences that we are moving into, as May 2020 is when the North Node will enter Gemini, and we're going to experience a Venus retrograde on top of the North Node in Gemini, where there's going to be a major question about your value, your worth, about what are you connected to, about relationships, what is valuable to you, what holds worth in your life. And this is a big question, as it's going to be in conjunction with the North Node, the destiny point that will be in Gemini, about this curiosity to open new doorways and new experiences, and to take on these new experiences, as the South Node will be back in Sagittarius, which will be a big release point about these karmic stories, about these old belief systems, right? We talk about Sagittarius, we're talking about what do you believe in, what do you have faith in. And so there is something here about the South Node moving into Sagittarius, where it is destroying these old belief systems that have been in place and opening up new doorways through the North Node in Gemini. But with Venus retrograde on top of that, it's going to be a question about where does the worth and the value go into. And this is a major thing for you, Aries. As we talked about before, there's going to be a major judgment call that needs to be made within yourself about how you're showing up and what the path looks like. What are you passionate about? And so again, speaking of karma, we do have Saturn and Neptune here. And these are two very karmic planets, as Saturn is here to teach you the discipline, the rules, the laws, the boundaries, the restrictions, the limitations in your life. And Neptune is here to dissolve the physical boundaries and take you to a higher state of consciousness. And so it is a big thing that we have Saturn here in reverse, because remember that Saturn is in Capricorn. It is with the South Node in this huge Capricorn stellium that is going to be about closing out these old structures and these old systems that have been put in place in your life, and so that you can move to this destiny point, to this North Node in Capricorn, which is ultimately about unity and connection. And so with Saturn here in reverse, there is something about needing to remove these old blocks and these old limits that you've put on yourself. And so there is something here, again, Aries, where there's a major judgment call that needs to be made, because there are these major blocks and limitations that you have put on yourself, these old belief systems that need to be released. And with Saturn here, there's something where there's this new structure that needs to be put in place, right? We talk about 2020 being number 22 year, the master builder, about building this new destiny, building this new foundation for yourself. So this is very powerful for a lot of you, needing to remove these old boundaries and these old restrictions. Remember that Saturn is at its weakest position in Aries, because we talk about how Aries is about stepping into that identity, stepping into that confidence, stepping into that worth, and taking action, taking the initiative, stepping into this new path, as Aries is the start of the zodiac, the start of the story, the new beginning. And so there is something here about how this is a new path, a new journey for many of you out there. And with Neptune here, Neptune is playing a big role in this story that we are in, as Neptune is in its home sign of Pisces, and it will stay there for a very, very long time. You'll see it throughout 2020, where Neptune is this planet of dreams and visions and illusions, and it is in its home sign of Pisces, of the dreamer, of what does that vision look like for you? What is your dream? What do you want to accomplish? And we talk a lot about how 2020 is about taking those dreams and making them a reality, right? We have all of this Capricorn energy building, which Capricorn is the most solid of all the signs. And so it is about taking these non-tangible dreams and visions that you have for yourself and turning into something that is real, something that is practical, something that you can physically experience in this reality. And even when we talk about Capricorn, Capricorn does represent the top of the sky, right? It's the midheaven, the top. And so there's something about doing the work with Capricorn, doing the work, putting in the time, the effort to climb up to the top, to climb to your success, to hold that status, to hold that reputation. And so again, as we mentioned before, this is a lot about how are you going to show up in the world? What steps are you taking to elevate yourself? Neptune is about dissolving those boundaries and raising up the frequency, rising to this higher level. And we talked about how Venus will be retrograde on top of the North Node in Gemini in 2020, in the spring of 2020. And so this Venus energy comes through once again asking you what holds worth in your life. Right? And a lot of people talk about how Venus is the planet of love and beauty, but there's also something to it where the things that you find beauty in, the things that you love, hold some sort of worth and value. And we see that in Venus's first ruler of Taurus. Where do you find the worth? Where do you find the value in it? And this is a very big message for a lot of you out there as you are moving into this new journey, this new path. Because remember that the North Node is in Cancer. Our destiny point is moving us towards this home space, towards this connection, this unity, which there is a connection between Cancer and Taurus that is about what is secure, what holds value, where is the true connection. And so this is a big question for a lot of you out there, Aries, as you are moving into the next year. Are you doing things that hold worth in them? Are you doing things that hold value in them with this Venus energy? So that was your January 2020 horoscope for Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, as well as hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new content. If you're watching this on Instagram or Facebook, feel free to leave a thumbs up as well as sharing this out. And I will see you all in the next video.